Okay, Parshas Mishpatim. Guys, why is life so complicated? Why is it so difficult? You know, there's a statement that we say. Everybody got a plan. Famous boxer said this. Everybody got a plan till he gets punched in the face. Right? Everybody's got a plan till he. What happens? What does that even mean? Okay, I want to share. It says in the Shulchan Aruch, you make this bracha every day. Use the restroom. You say Rofei Chol Basar Umafli La'asos. He does wonders. He does something amazing, miraculous. And there's a discussion what it is, and the Ramah says, you know what it means? That we have a body, and we have this physical piece of meat, and we have a soul. And we are able to stay alive and connect something which is not at all physical, our soul, and our body. HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts them together. And that combination is a miraculous combination because they're opposites. And you have this non-physical self inside of your physical self. And that's our soul. And I was thinking, all the way at the end of the Parsha, even though last Parsha was Matan Torah, where did it say Naaseh v'nishma? In this Parsha. And if you're here now, you'll never forget where it says it. Perek Chof Daled, Pasuk Zayin, 24/7, Naaseh v'nishma. Right? At the end of Parshas Mishpatim, Naaseh v'nishma, 24/7. Always a reminder. Naaseh v'nishma is the big deal of the Jewish people. This is our big deal, that we said this when Hashem gave us the Torah. We will do and we will listen. There's a great deal of discussion about that. What does it mean we will do and we will listen? If we don't know what to do, how are we supposed to know what to do? If we didn't listen first, what are we supposed to do about that? And so the Gemara deals with this question. And the Gemara says that Hashem says, my children learned the secret. Who revealed the secret of the angels, of the malachim to my children? What's the secret of an angel? A malach doesn't have real free will. He's created to do his job. And because he's created to do his job, he exists to do. And his job could change. He can get this job, he can get that job. Whatever his job is, he exists only to serve. So the Jewish people at Kabbalah Satorah, they're saying, Naaseh v'nishma, we will do, we exist to do, and we will serve. But I have a question. What if they said, Nishma v'naaseh? We're going to hear and we're going to do. Is that what the rest of the nations of the world said? What do other nations of the world say? They said, what does it say in your Torah? Oh, don't kill, we like to kill. Don't steal, we like to steal. Don't commit adultery, we like that stuff. So we're not ready to take this on as Torah. The Jews didn't say that. What if they would have said, Nishma v'naaseh? We will listen and we will do. We're committing ourselves to do. We're going to hear it first, but we're not making the doing conditional. We will hear and we will do. What's wrong with that? What's missing? What's missing? The Gemara says that Jewish people got two crowns. One for Naaseh and one for Nishma. And what if they said Nishma v'naaseh? They wouldn't have gotten two crowns? What's the difference between the two? So, you know, sometimes they bring this example of a guy. You have a guy who sometimes he's in his right mind and sometimes he loses his mind. And when he loses his mind, he's afraid he can damage himself because he's just not clear-minded. And because he's afraid he can damage himself, when he's in his clear space, he puts protections in place to ensure that when he loses his mind, he'll still be safe because he's worried. What's going to happen? If a guy knows he's going to drink, he gets a designated driver. He puts something in place to make sure that he shouldn't damage himself when his mind is not clear. Why? Because we're complicated. We have a body and we have a mind. We have a body. The mind isn't the brain. The brain is just a tool of the mind, the soul. So we have a body and we have a soul. And the soul is pulling towards God, and the body is pulling towards what the body wants. So it's complicated. And there are times that we kind of get lost. The Jewish people said, we understand that because we have bodies, it's not enough if we just have something in our mind. Because I could have a very clear mind, but then I get a little bit distracted by the needs of the body, and I don't follow through on this great idea that I had. So I made up I was going to get up tomorrow morning and daven Nates, and then by the time I finished all the things I need to do before going to sleep, I doom scrolled for a while, and I this and I that, and next thing I know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I need to go to sleep, and I don't make it to Nates the next day. But I had it in my mind. I know that I shouldn't speak Lashon Hara. I have it in my mind, but then someone does something that really annoys me, and then I kind of end up saying it. Having it in the mind is not enough. It helps. Without it in the mind, you can't do it. We need to invest our bodies in things. Nishma v'na says, I have it in my mind, and I'm going to do it, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just don't do it. Na'aseh v'nishma means that I'm committed to doing this. I'm going to invest my body in this. I'm going to invest. The Medrash says, Na'aseh, we will do. That refers to miracles. Nishma, we'll hear. That refers to listening to the words of Torah, hearing Torah, learning Torah. If I only have it up here in my head, it doesn't really work. I only have it in my heart, so to speak. It doesn't work. It's not enough. We have to invest ourselves in it. The body itself needs to be trained that it has to work hard, and it has to do things that are not what the body wants to do right now. I want to rest, and I get up. I want to do something that's the inappropriate thing, and I do the appropriate thing. I'm training my body to have a relationship with God. And now when I learn His Torah, it goes into a much deeper, more real place. It's an actual connection. People say, oh, it's enough. I love Hashem. Oh, I love Him. I love Him. I love Him. He loves me. I love Him. It's very nice. How is that love being expressed? When I do an act, so to speak, of service, I do acts of service, and I put myself out there, and I go against what my body wants, and I act, I make room for the soul within me. I make room to connect the body and the soul together. So Nishma v'naseh is great. They would have gotten 1 crown for that. We're going to do. Yeah, but you're not going to have the relationship. You're not going to have that person who is training himself to make space. I want to just finish that concept. What does it mean to make space? I think we quoted this once. Rav Hutner used to say, there's a lot of philosophers of religion, of different religions in the world. There's plenty of philosophy. What's the difference between Jewish philosophy and other religions' philosophies? He said all the other religious philosophies are busy trying to figure out how to bring God into their life. That's a pretty good thing, right? The Jews are trying to figure out, how can I fit into God's world? Not how can God fit into my world? And so Na'aseh v'nishma is that I take my body and I put it into His service because I'm trying to exist within His world, not just put Him into my world. This is a week, 24/7, Na'aseh v'nishma. Gentlemen, have a beautiful Shabbos.